Praise the Lord, everyone. This is Sam. So, today I'll be going through day 11 of our Bible recap in 1 year. Day 11 covers the book of Job, chapters 29 to 31. So, what are these chapters to summarize? Basically, they are Job's reflection on his life, his present, his moral integrity, and his experience through his pain. It's a deeply personal, emotional, and theological moment in the book, almost like a monologue where Job speaks honestly to God, to himself, and even to the world around him. Let's take a closer look. In Job 29, Job just remembers. He remembers the days before everything went wrong, the days when respect followed him wherever he went, when people looked at him as a leader, when his home was full of family, laughter, and provision. But Job doesn't just remember comfort, he remembers purpose, he remembers righteousness, he remembers the difference he made, the widows he protected, the orphans he cared for, the blind he guided, the oppressed he defended. Job is saying, I lived a life that mattered. I walked with God and I tried to make a difference. Then we move into Job 30 and the scene changes dramatically. He says, But now, and in those two words, the weight of sorrow, pain, and loss presses down. The people who once were beneath him now are mocking him. His strength is gone, his reputation is broken. He feels abandoned, lonely, misunderstood, and humiliated. A lot of times in our life, we face moments like this, moments when the ground shifts beneath us, moments when the respect we earn disappears, when life feels cruel and confusing. Job does not shy away from naming the hurt. He faces it, raw and unflinching. He shows us that suffering does not always come as punishment. Even the righteous can be broken, mocked, and left to wonder why. Then in Job 31, Job rises again. He does not despair in silence. He speaks boldly of his integrity, of his honesty, of his fairness, and of his compassion. He refuses to let suffering define him as guilty. He says to God, Examine me. I have tried to live rightly. I have walked faithfully. Even when life feels upside down, even when no one seems to notice, Job refuses to compromise his values. He refuses to allow bitterness to take root. Even in pain, he chooses integrity. Even in loss, he chooses moral courage. Even in humiliation, he chooses righteousness. When I read these chapters, I see a man who doesn't hide his pain, who doesn't compromise his integrity, and who faces life with courage and honesty. Job remembers the blessings of his past, he endures the suffering of his present, and he refuses to let hardship steal his character or his purpose. All I wanted to say is that life will hit hard, life will leave scars, life will feel unfair, obviously. But Job shows us that who we are, the choices we make, the love and justice we show, and the courage we hold on to, they are what truly define us, right? And think about it in modern life. Job 29 is like remembering the seasons when the life is felt full, basically. Maybe it was your career, your relationship, your health, a time when your life felt purposeful and respected, right? And Job 30 is those moments when the rug is pulled out from under you. Loss, betrayal, humiliation, isolation, illness, disappointment, all of these things. And Job 31 shows us the path through all these things that we endure, right? So it shows us to choose integrity, act justly, stay compassionate, speak truth, but don't let the storms define you, right? Do not let the world take your character. Don't let suffering harden your heart, right? Job teaches us something timeless. What I like about this entire like three chapters is that it always talks about honesty, courage, and integrity are not destroyed by suffering. They are refined by it. They carry us through. They bear witness to the world. Even when everything else seems silence and different, even when it feels like no one is watching, even when the pain is private, even when the injustice is raw, your choices, your heart, your faithfulness, your integrity, they matter. They define you. They testify. So as we finish reflecting on Job 29 to 31, remember this: hold fast to what is right. Let your compassion remain strong, even when life feels unfair. Be honest about your pain, but do not allow it to change who you are at your core. Remember the blessings, learn from the losses, stand firm, walk faithfully, and let your life, even in suffering, speak of truth, courage, and grace. That's the lesson of Job 29 to 31. A lesson from our for our past, our present, and the way we walk faithfully into an uncertain future. Thanks for watching. Shalom.